This lesson is General Lesson 2. I will record this in 3 parts. So the first part will be spelling. The second part will be a review of the helping verbs and their auxiliaries and a dialogue and an exercise with that dialogue. And the third part will be what time is it. So this is part 1 of General Lesson 2. Right? How do you spell? So how do you spell Monday? Well, when we spell Monday, we start with a capital letter. So always, I'm going to say for this exercise, capital M-O-N-D-A-Y. So capital M, small m. So a capital letter is a big letter. Small m, this is a small letter. Because days of the week start with capital letters. Months of the year start with capital letters. January, February, March, April, May. And names of people and places start with capital letters. So for this exercise, we're going to say capital M-O-N-D-A-Y. When you speak normally with a person, we understand that days of the week start with capital letters, months of the year start with capital letters, and names of people and places start with capital letters. We understand that. So if you ask me, how do you spell Brooks? I spell it capital B-R-O-O-K-S, but I will say, how do you spell Brooks? Oh, B-R-O-O-K-S. So we don't usually have to say capital, but for this exercise, we will say capital. Okay? So let's go. How do you spell Monday? Capital M-O-N-D-A-Y. After Monday is Tuesday. Tuesday. How do you spell Tuesday? Capital T-U-E-S-D-A-Y. Tuesday. And we pronounce Tuesday like Tuesday, as if it's like, you can think of it in Turkish, salt day, because the word for salt is tuz, and you can think of Tuesday for good pronunciation. After Tuesday is, yes, Wednesday. How do you spell Wednesday? Capital W-E-D-N-E-S-D-A-Y. Now, again, Wednesday is very strange because we say Wednesday. Wednesday. Remember, for W in English, you make your lips round. Wednesday. And we pronounce it Wednesday. We do not pronounce the D here. In fact, we don't say this whole syllable. We don't say Wednesday. We spell it this way, but we don't say it. We say Wednesday. Okay, after Wednesday is Thursday. Thursday. Capital T-H-U-R-S-D-A-Y. Thursday. After Thursday is, yes, Friday. How do you spell Friday? Capital F-R-I-D-A-Y. Friday. After Friday is Saturday. How do you spell Saturday? Capital S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. Saturday. After Saturday is Sunday. How do you spell Sunday? Capital S-U-N-D-A-Y. Sunday. Okay, now let's move to the months of the year. Now, we know that the months of the year start with capital letters. So the months of the year start with capital letters. And we'll start from the first month, January, through to the last month, December. Here we go. How do you spell January? Capital January. How do you spell February? Capital February. February. Now when we say February, like quickly or normally, we usually say February. We do not say the R. We don't say the R. We write the R. We write capital February, but we say February. February. After February is March. Capital March. March. After March is April. Capital April. April. After April is May. Capital May. May. After May is June. Capital June. Then we have here, let's start here with July. July. Capital July. August. Capital August. August. September. Capital September. September. October. Capital October. November. Capital November. November. December. Capital December. December. Now, many of you have problems with certain letters. There are certain letters that in your language are different than in English. For example, in many languages, the letter A, here the letter A, is pronounced A in most languages. The letter I is pronounced E in most languages. The letter E here is pronounced A in many languages. So you have to change your thinking. In English, of course, this is A, E, I. This is U. This is Y. We say it Y. And this is V. And then another problem that many people have is W is another problem. Many people W, we confuse them with V. And I know that some people have problems between J and G. So these are some problems. The best thing to do is to know your problems, find your problems, and then try and use this exercise like a game. How many A's can you find? Okay, there's A. So there are many, many A's. You can count the A's. Or J's. You have J in January, July, June. Practice your V. November. V. Practice V again and again. Practice your W's. Wednesday. You know your problem areas. Find your problems and attack them. Really practice until it becomes very easy for you. If I tell you, how to spell, for example, let's think of a word here. Think of Emerson, for example. My last name is Emerson. If I tell you Emerson, you immediately think Emerson. and not E like in Turkish, M-E-R-S-O-N. That would be wrong. That's not right. That would be wrong. So when you hear E, immediately in English you think E, right? E. Okay, so that ends part 1, the spelling part of our general lesson 2.